because I've used yours before, I thought.
Is this you? Perfect time.
All right. What bike is that?
SU9.
We're gonna think about running that entry line as soon as possible. Limit the places people can pass us.
Yeah. You're giving up 10, 15 feet of room on that entry. It's already like the tightest corner on the whole racetrack. And now we really have to park it because of that low entry line. So really think about opening that up a little bit early, and that's, I think, what's causing you to get way off that first apex. Good.
Hang on. Hang on. That, my friend, is what we call an apex.
That's pretty damn good right there. Pretty
Yeah,
damn
he's
good right
cleaning
there.
dirt off his knee problem.
Come on.
He's trying to leave another one there.
Oh.
Really, really good job. Like what we're doing in all this high speed stuff. Good. Really fantastic job.
Maybe a
with the
little bit
body.
early of returning to get down towards that apex.
Yeah,
Right.
too much speed there where we try to throw a body to still make it, and too much of this control.
Right. Think about almost hanging off the right hand side a little bit longer. Like you're trying to continue to open up the next left-hander. So it's like we start driving. Now you go back to the center of the seat, and that puts you in a little bit low. Let it just open up a little bit more, so in that transition, you can get a little bit more of that entry room on the entry.
And a little bit late of a butt movement too. It's like we kind of stop in the center and then do a last little shift already in the brakes. So
Remember that head lowest on exit, that's gonna help carry the bike finish the corner, right? Drag it over to the other side.
I'm struggling with that, like on the bars.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Gotta get some clip-ons.
Yeah, on the high bars, it's a little bit kind of a weird feel with it high and so flat. Concept's still the same, it feels a little bit more awkward. You know, most of the time, because that hand grip is so square, like I find it easier to move my upper body on like a sporty bike because the clip-ons are down low, your hands are rotating. When they're already up here and flat, it's kind of like your hands are already relatively square, so. Whoa! Whoa.
and that right there is late with the eyes.
Yeah.
Right. We never picked them up out towards the corner exit, and we were late with the throttle. Our motorcycle is steering so well for us. That's the problem that we want. That if we killed our ignition, we're running off the inside, and that's just the issue that we have. We're late with the throttle to open this back up, coming closer towards the second cone than the first one.
Well, that's an apex.
We'll show that to Sam, tell him he needs to put some curbing in there.
So is that a case where you accelerate out of that?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
just
so
makes
the
it-
radius was tightening up
Stand
too
it up.
fast for the corner. We're coming in here, now all of a sudden we're running off the inside, you pick the throttle back up, the radius opens back up, so.
It's a good problem to have.
Good swing in the leg out too.
Freddie Spencer
Oh,
always used,
no, there's a hazard there, so.
Yeah,
You're trying
yeah.
to point
This
out
is
the
a
camera
dirt.
guy.
yeah. Freddie Spencer always used to say, if you cut my ignition mid-corner, I'd run off the inside of the racetrack. That's what he was working on. I want it to steer so damn well, the only fix is I have to go back to the throttle, and you know, when you get the bike steered like that, body like that, we're able to really stand the thing up and get it fired off. And that's, you know, truly where we start to make time in the sport. You know, it's all about straight lines, but you know, if we're in a position with that body position to stand it up and get it here earlier and into the throttle earlier, you know, we always want to make time where it's easy, which is in straight lines, right? So we don't need to take a whole lot more risk on the entry, but if you could do this a lot quicker, sooner, build more pace, you know, all of a sudden where lap time comes down with really no more risk. Good.
Nice acceleration off that corner.
There you go.
I think we're a little square on the grips too. See
Yeah, that outside arm, I think that's kind of like, if you draw the line up, your head's a little bit in the center. And I think it's just like we're a little bit kind of holding on, so that outside elbow stays a little bit kind of bent and out. As your hand, I always kind of almost feel like that outside or pinky side of my hand has to kind of rotate up off the handlebar a little bit. And then when we used to, on a sport bike, we think about our outside arm coming across the fuel tank. When we talk about that, it's not, you know, we're dropping it down onto the fuel tank. You can almost think it's the crease side of your arm that you start to feeling. Elbow's almost going towards the sky. But when we have our elbow bent like that, it's like that's what's holding the upper body from that last little bit of movement.
And I would say it's almost too
I was just
much
gonna say
butt
that.
that we have to hold with our hands. Yeah. definitely too much, but better there to the left.
Yeah, the left seems to be, you're landing in the right spot, the right, you're almost getting a little touch far off. When we hang too far off with our butt, we end up hanging on from those handlebars, put a lot of steering input into the bike, a lot of weight in that steering head.
Then into the gas too hard too soon. Right, having to roll out
Yeah,
on
and just that
corner
apex was
exit.
just a touch too early. So we're getting into the apex. Here's the point where our knee is closest to the inside of the curbing, and now we're running wide. So we're having to hold lean angle off the exit. We can almost think, we're a little bit rushed in the corner if we have to hold lean angle past our apex. Right, if as we start to drive, it's like, ooh, I gotta fix this with more and more lean angle. We're just a little bit too quick mid-corner, and it wasn't necessarily a pace thing with your body position, all those other things. It was just that apex thing, just discipline and going, hey, I apexed early, I can't yet accelerate, I'll hold my speed.
Leading into our biggest vital spot, just realizing we have to carry that speed in because we can't make it up in the middle of this corner.
Damn, good lap, round of applause, nice job. Get an apex, use all the racetrack that was there, that was good.
You're supposed to avoid the clippings, not make the clippings.